A very good morning and good evening, everyone. Welcome back. I hope every one of you have received this particular link. So which this link is having the information about to all the links. So which we are actually using is Killer Coda for our Linux practice for 1 or 2 days. And after that, we'll be also having this Miro dashboard link. So to view the diagrams which I'm actually making, by the way. I'm also keeping this in the chat once again. So just go through if you need, or if you did not got it once again. Okay. Now, the next is, okay, so we are going to, start with the Linux things. So let's revise what we have discussed in yesterday's session once before actually starting. Give me a sec. Yeah. So the Killer Coda, maybe it usually comes like this, by the way. So when you actually try to open, so it usually take you to a page like this. Once you click on this, it will ask you to log in. So maybe you can use Google or anything to log in. So I'm using Google just for ensuring that you are not a bot, by the way. Okay. So let it come and just give it a few minutes and you should be able to see the prompt coming in. So it is doing some work, by the way, but don't bother about that at this point of time. Okay. While we're moving on, so we are actually, yesterday we talked about the prompt of the Linux. When you actually create a Linux server, especially the Red Hat system, you're going to get a prompt. And that prompt is actually going to show you which user you logged in and what is the name of the system. Okay, so the name of the system is showing here. For an example, the name of the system is coming here, and the username is actually coming here. Now in Windows, you have a administrator account. I'm not sure every one of you are aware. Like let's say, what is the admin user in Windows? Now, whatever the user you log in, maybe a normal user, but however, there is an administrator. An administrator is someone. Okay. So what is the user name? Okay. So let's keep this way. So list users in Windows DOS command. So if I just go and so search for this. Now if I just give something command is there. Okay, user. Okay, something netspace user, you type it. You generally get okay. So some different users, by the way, and one of the user you will see is the default user, which is administrator. Okay. Somehow the screens are not coming well. So here you see this netspace user, you type it and you will see a username called as administrator, or you can also see as a list. Yeah, something like this. Now you can see this administrator. So this is something you did not create. An operating system has been created. The same way in Linux also, it comes with a default user and the username called as ROOT. So his name is root user and he is the administrator of the system. So now I logged into the system as administrator. Later we'll talk about standards like how to log in, so things like that will come into picture in this week only. No worries on that. But yeah, so this is what is the command. 1 second, someone raising the hand.
Are we like doing what we did yesterday? We're just watching, not following. We're not actually doing it, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I did not got your point.
No, I said that. I said that yesterday we were just watching, not actually doing it. So are we still just watching you and not doing it?
Yeah, while I do the things like I mentioned yesterday, you don't need to do anything. Just understand what I'm trying to tell you. That much is fine.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Coming back. So yesterday we were talking about the prompt. This is what it is, and after that we talked about in Linux everything is a command, and that's where the first week you generally get introduced to the regular usage of the operating system. Like in Windows, you want to create a file, you know that right click you do and new folder, you learned about it. Now here it is a command to do that. Okay, that's how it works. Now everything is a command, and the commands are actually going to be, you simply execute a command. Sometimes it comes with an options, and the options also use by using hyphen single character or hyphen hyphen single word or hyphen single word. It all depends upon this command. And okay, so if you want to know about it, so generally you type about like in the internet manual that particular command name, and usually you will get the manual page, and they will explain all the options whatever you. Okay, so that's how you will find it out. And also sometimes you will be having some inputs also to some commands. For an example, ls command yesterday we're talking about to list the files. Now ls of something I'm giving, you will get something else. Okay, or let's say something, you're getting something else like this based on the input. I mean, you're telling that, I want the list of files of something else. You're telling an input, so then the ls command behavior will change a little bit. So that's where the input and options is going to help us in, doing what we're actually looking for. Now you always need to understand what you want, and you are going to execute the command accordingly. And also we talked about yesterday, so which is the directory structure relation, by the way, in Windows versus Linux. In Windows, it all starts in C drive. In Linux, it all starts in /, which is also called as a root directory. Okay, for a tree, it starts at root, and from there the branches and all will come. So the same idea has been picked up, and so it is /, and inside that you'll find out many directories. And first of all, if I wanted to go and find out the list of files, so then I mentioned ls command, and it is showing some files, and ls-l will show you in a different format, which is in a like little bit more format it is showing you. And now ls-hyphen capital A also, if I give, it will show more files. Now these files are hidden files, by the way. How can I say these are hidden files? The file name is starting with a dot character is a hidden file. So these are all hidden files. Capital A will provide that option of hidden files. All right, so until here we have discussed in yesterday's session. So we'll move on with the remaining commands. And so let's start with the navigating commands. Now in Windows, how do you navigate? You do a double click, and it just continuously goes on with the, it just goes continuously with, I mean, wherever you want to go, right? So you see a folder and you do a double click, and then it goes inside, and inside that you'll see the files and all, right? And also in Windows, okay, if you see the Explorer, by the way, so if you want to know where are you in Windows, how do you understand that where are you? So if you just go with the Windows File Explorer, I think that is called as File Explorer only. Yeah. So if you want to know the where are you, by the way, so the File Explorer will help you. So this, I mean, you're in this PC C drive, it is showing you on the top, it is showing you, right? But in Linux, okay, so you just need to execute a command to understand where are you. Okay, so that's where pwd. The first command which we are going to understand here is pwd. This pwd is going to help you in understanding where are you. You are in some directory called as /root. Now starting slash is nothing but go back to your reference diagram, our reference diagram. So starting slash means here is the end place. Okay, under this there is a root folder. You are inside that. Maybe in this diagram it is not showing, but there was a folder called as root, and you are inside that. That's what you need to understand. This /root is nothing but / plus root directory combined and showing it as /root. Same like Windows. Like, if I just go with the MS-DOS from PI or something like that. So if I just go with that particular one, now what you need to understand here is some folder. Yeah, some diagram like this. Now you need to understand from this particular diagram. So it is showing you C drive : okay, / is one part, plus documents and settings is one folder, plus / and administrator is another folder. So that is the understanding, correct? Even in Explorer also, it will show you the same thing only. Even if you go to the Explorer also, it will show you the same thing. So showing something here. Yeah. So you see here. So forget about command prompt. Even on the Explorer also, you click on that Explorer, it will show you the path like this only. That means you are in C drive /plus, and after that you're under document and settings plus administrator. Now all these three things. So that means it's not one piece, by the way, right? Linux, yesterday we already talked about. So it is basically going to be like, / for everything. So that means / is the place it is starting. Plus inside that, the root directory is there. You're there in the root directory. Absolutely no difference between Windows and Linux at this point of time, right? So there they are showing you the / notation. Here we are showing that is a / notation. Maybe it is starting at a C drive there, C drive : /. But here we are starting with directly as a slash. That's the only difference you would be seeing. Otherwise, contextual wise, both are same. Okay. So that's where the PWD is going to show you the present working directory wherever you are in. I mean, you just want to check yourself. Maybe Windows just on the top, it will show you. Here you need to execute a command to know that. Okay. So that's about something. And the next is, if I want to move from one directory to another directory, Windows, you do what? Double click, folder, right? And here we don't do that. So here we are going to execute a command called as CD command. Okay. So CD, wherever you want to go, you can do that one. So now let's say I want to go to CD / enter. Okay. I'm in / directory. So do ls, you can see that. Now here there are some blue color actually. So the blue colors are the one which notates a folder. Maybe that color may not be that much visible for you on the screen share also. Let's do one more thing. ls-l. If I give ls-l, anything starting with a D is a directory. Anything starting with a D is a directory. So I know this is a folder now. If I give ls-l, I'll come to know this is a folder. Now I can go inside the folder. For an example, the last one which you have is cd var, because I can go inside that because that's a folder. Okay. Now I'm in under / var. Now do ls-l. If there is any folder, you can go inside that. So maybe I'll go inside yp, the last one. Okay. ls-l, you don't have anything. Okay. PWD, you're in /var/yp. Now, just to avoid this PWD command, okay, in generally what I usually do is, maybe this is not a default thing that comes out of operating system. So what we do is I usually, format this prompt, by the way. This prompt tells, or this prompt itself will tell you in which directory you are in. Okay. So cd / if I'm in, it is telling me / directory I'm in. So cd var I'm giving. So it is telling me I'm in var directory. I can just avoid that PWD command. Okay. Maybe later once you get some maturity, you ask internet that, so, hey, I wanted to set up something on the prompt, my directory every time. How do you do that? You will get the answer. Very simple one only, not big deal. So there is something called as PS1 shell, something like that. So with this one, you should be able to, okay, manage the custom prompt. I just set up my own custom. Okay. So one day you'll bother about it, but at this point of time, it's already out of box. I'm helping you to avoid you to, execute the PWD commands all the time. So ls-l. Now for an example, I wanted to go inside local. Okay. So PWD. So you can see this without PWD also, you can understand this. ls-l. There are anything else there. So now I'll understand that I don't have anything here. Okay. Now cd command, you give some path, it will take you to that path. Now what I have done is I have given / and I went var, I went local. So because I don't know it, but whereas I know everything where I wanted to go. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is, I can just give, like, let's say, I will go for etc for an example, sysconfig. Okay. If I know the path, by the way, I will type that particular path. It will take you to that directly also. CD, either you do a navigation step after step, or else you give to the CD command, hey, I want to go to this path. It will take you to that path directly if you know the path. Either of the one, it is fine. Okay. So this is how it is going to be. and also a couple of small shortcuts on cd command, which is really handy. If you type cd enter, it will take to your home directory automatically. Okay, so whoever the user you logged in, every user will have a home directory. Windows also have that, right? C drive user something is there. Okay, every user is going to be having a home directory. So here also every user will get a home directory. The root user will get the home directory, which is /root. Okay, so that's how it is. And yeah, we are in the home directory. That means cd command, wherever you are in, does not really matter in the system. You want to just go on to your home directory. So cd enter will help you. Okay, and also cd just /etc, let's say sysconfig. Now from here, I want to go to my parent directory. So what is my parent directory? /etc is also another shortcut which will help you. Cd dot dot. Dot dot denotes your parent directory. Your current directory is dot. Your parent directory is dot dot. These are the shortcuts. Current directory is dot. Parent directory is dot dot. So cd dot dot. So it goes there. Cd dot dot. It goes to / cd dot dot. Nothing to go or wait. I mean, nowhere to go. Just done. Okay. So this is how we are going to deal with the cd command and pwd command. If you want to know where are you, pwd command. If you want to navigate from one location to another location, a combination of cd command and ls command will help you in going. Okay. Or else you know the path, cd directly the path you can go. So these are the things, okay, you would need for on the cd side for navigation. Any questions on this? You need to unmute Rahul. Not able to hear you. Moving on.
Hi Raghu, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes,
Raghu, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm able to hear you. I think you have some settings problem. Okay, moving on.
Sir, regarding this killer code, yesterday I tried to log in with the two different mail IDs. Like the procedure how you have shown in that way only I have tried, but it's showing the with the white screen, like telling server IP address could not found. I was unable to go into this console.
I don't think so. Check it out properly. It could be anything in your internet side issue, or you are not doing the things which I told. It's a very simple website.
Yes, same like that only I have also went, like authentication that with the Gmail ID, all those things I have went inside. And the checkbox also at starting it will show no the terms and conditions and with that one.
See, I'm still telling, I don't think so. It's anything problem with anywhere else. It's something you are doing only mistake. So please double check once again.
Okay.
Sana, you need to unmute and talk. Not able to hear you. No.
Hey Raghu, can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes.
So, Raghu, I have one question regarding that Linux part. So, if you let's say you are going to in multiple subdirectory, and I want to go to directory back. So, which command should I use in that? CD triple dot. Let's say for directory.
Yeah.
In for subdirectory, I want to go and I want to search one txt file. So, and I want to go to directory back. Like, so what command should I use in that case?
Yeah. So there is a triple dot also, but this operating system, whatever you are using, by default comes with some sort of a shell, by the way, which doesn't support triple dot. So now let's say if I'm under etc sysconfig. So if you want to go 2 times back, so cd dot dot slash, so you go to directories back. But yeah, so for an example, if I go to my Mac OS, by the way, so this guy allow me to, let's say I'm in pwd. So now cd triple dot will work and it will take me to slash. Okay. So don't confuse, maybe just the Linux operating system, you have to do with this way.
Okay. Okay.
Hi Raghu, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Raghu, the slash when you mentioned that is the root. So the tilde is for. So when you typed
Tilde is
cd,
The tilde is representing you're in your home directory.
so that is home. So home directory is nothing but the same root, right?
Slash root. Your home
Okay.
directory.
So okay. So slash root is the home directory and the slash is the root.
Right.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Is someone else raise a hand and down it? Or did I mistakenly? Any other questions before proceeding? I see some questions in the chat. So it shows the permissions like, let's say ls-l, like I already mentioned yesterday. So this whole journey you will come to know one day. Like, so we'll talk about by end of Linux, you will come to know what all each and every field is doing. At this point of time, don't bother about that. So we are getting the file name at this point of time. And whereas the first character D shows directory, hyphen means it is a regular file. That much only we know. Other things we don't bother. And what is ls hyphen small a? Okay, so ls, this is the problem, by the way. Do like a lot of people abuses Linux, by the way. Okay, in a way that without knowing it, they do the things. I already told ls hyphen capital A to show the hidden files, but a lot of people we know that so small a they will use it. Okay, and that means they are giving plus information, so they are showing a little bit more information. And are you looking for that information? Then only you have to give small a. Okay, otherwise you'll be using capital A to show the hidden files of this directory. You should be you'll be using capital A, not small a. Small a is doing plus job. Now in the ls command, it is not harm, by the way. But some commands, okay, unknowingly you are doing the things. I know many people, by the way. So just execute like that. If we ask them, why are you using these options? There is no clue at all. So I would suggest you to bring back your consciousness on that particular area. Whoever may be already having some Linux experience, or whoever now starting with the Linux things, always ensure the things consciously, because you're going to deal with the production systems. Okay, so the production systems is basically like running the business. Now your impact, I mean, any mistake that you can do can impact the business, which is a revenue loss. So you have to be extremely careful, extremely careful when you actually deal with the live systems. Okay, so I know a scenario. I mean, shell is even very dangerous, by the way. So for an example, if I give a is equal to 10, just don't worry about what I'm doing. But if I give, I'm getting 10, by the way, right? Now let's say a is a file name. I mean, for an example, like this. Okay, so if I give, I mean, something like this actually. So I wanted to do something like, let's say some rm command, anyhow next it will come. I want to remove something. So like, let's say /$A. If A is something which is missing, okay, it will go like this and you delete the whole system. Okay. So which is a extreme dangerous command in Linux, right? So some things that you need to do a little bit consciously. I mean, cautiously and consciously, both the things. I'm just highlighting this. I'm not scaring you. But at the same time, you have to be responsible for what you do, by the way. So that's where be very conscious only. I mean, cautious anyhow people will be doing, but at least conscious or subconsciously don't do the things, especially on the Linux area. Okay, that small a is also shows the files plus some information it is showing. That plus you want it, you don't want it, you need to understand if that is needed, you should use this. If not needed, capital A. This is just a classical example I'm telling. Okay, so small a, capital A, because every session I go in or every batch I start, this question will come. Okay, and it's a nice opportunity for me as well to explain that you should not do the things, right? So small a is okay. It will show the files, but plus more information is there. I don't want that. I just want only the hidden files in this directory. Capital A is the right option. Okay. Yeah, I think someone raised their hands and I moved.
So Raghu, in that case, we can use some options, right, to delete any kind of files. Like it will prompt you, you want to delete file, yes or no.
So yes or no is fine, but every time you will not log into the system and do the things. You'll all go through automation.
Yeah. That's correct.
Okay. So I'm just telling you. So there are scenarios which would come into picture, but don't do the things subconsciously. Just bring consciousness around the systems.
Yeah. And we have the backup policies as well. If in
Prevention
AWS,
is better than cure. Don't get onto that.
yeah, yeah,
You have
correct.
backup. You have 8 hours downtime, which you lost millions of dollars. Who will be responsible?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So prevention is better than cure. Very simple thing. So whatever, I mean, proven statement in the world is prevention. So let's avoid that getting into wrong rather than getting into the wrong and make the things.
Yeah,
I'm calling it out only for production system. I'm not saying the same thing is applicable everywhere, by the way. While you're developing a new thing and you're doing on a test server, I don't mind, right?
Mhm.
I'm extremely calling it out because you people, end of the day, is going to work on the business systems that will impact business. You have to be doing a little bit cautious.
Correct.
Yes, Chandra.
Raghu, you already created those whatever seemed like Unconda KS, Unconda. These are all files you created already or not?
Like you have a Windows system, by the way, you go to C drive, let's say Windows folder, you have so many files out there, right?
Yes, yes. It's a
So
default.
yes, operating system has created it. This also was created as part of operating system.
Okay, okay. Yesterday I also tried the same like killer coda. So when I give list ls also, so I received the same, but I'm not created these kind of files. So I have a doubt when I created like.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So moving on. So the next one is, how can I create some files? Okay. So there are many ways to do the same job. Okay. Let's not get into that. There are many ways always, by the way, especially in the Linux, for doing the same job, you have many utilities. Okay. Now ls is not only the command, by the way, so which you have to do the list of files. So there are other commands also, a third party maybe. Okay, like that. So but natively, if you look in, when an operating system comes in, a basic command that comes in to create a files, which is touch command. So touch command is just going to create a file, but it will not create any content. Even in Windows also the same thing. I'm not sure you observed or not. You do a right click, a new text file you create, it just creates a file, an empty file. After that you have to go and after that you have to go and create the content in that file, or else you open an editor, you add the content and you save the file. That is one approach, but we're talking about creation of the file, right? If I want to create a file, right click, new, and new text file. Let's say I don't have any other softwares, for an example, like Windows, Microsoft Office, or something like that. So I don't have any of those things. A bare minimum Windows operating system will have right click, new, and you will find out a file to create a file, by the way, text file, and that is going to be an empty file. Linux also it is going to be the same thing, but here it is going to be a touch command. So touch file.txt. So you are going to create a file, and that is a ls-l. You will see a 0 size file. Now you can see this. This is a 0 size file. So that means now ls-l, this column shows you the size of the file. Okay. While you're reviewing the sizes, by the way, it usually shows in bytes. If you want actually some help on this as a human way, by the way, so kilobytes, bytes, and things like that. Now you can see this. This is 4.1 kilobytes. This is 3.8 kilobytes, like that. If it is MB, it will show in MBs, GBs, like that. It will show you. H also is a useful option sometimes on the LS for the size prospect. Okay, so this is what is we have with the so creation of the files. It creates an empty file. Also with touch command, you can just create multiple files also. The touch command, sample, ls, txt, and all. So you can create multiple files. Now the very important takeaway over here is, okay, in Linux, there are no file extensions. Extensions are given only for user understanding. We still give extensions, but only for our understanding. But operating system extension does not matter. Okay, what is the file name? So the file name is anaconda-ks.cfg is the file name. But in Windows, anaconda-ks is the file name. .cfg is the extension in Windows. Linux, it is not like that. So Linux completely is this is the file name. Okay. At the same way, now if I want to create a directory, basically in the Windows, right click new folder, you create a folder, it creates an empty folder. Here also you want to create a folder, and it is going to be mkdir, and it's going to be demo and ls-l. Now how can I say that demo is a directory? So you can see the first character is a demo, D, whereas the others is hyphen, which is a regular file. Okay. Now the another important takeaway over here is in Linux OS, the file names are case sensitive, which I already called it out yesterday. Meaning demo is different and capital D and demo is different. So that means mkdir demo is different. So now there are two folders. This is one folder, this is one folder. Windows, it is not possible. Windows, you can't do this job. It's only the Linux supported file systems does the job. Windows uses NTFS. I think this is using some other file system. Okay, so Windows, I'm hoping 11 file system. So Windows 11 or Windows 10, what is the file system that comes in by default? Default. So what is the default hard disk file system? So Windows uses NTFS. Okay, new technology file system. It is there from a decade almost from there. So maybe there were some improvements. That's okay. But Linux uses the one of the fastest file system you have. So which is XFS. F-hit. I mean, so I can just show you like this. So it will just show you, you'll understand this command one day, that's okay. But now you will see that it is using, okay, it is using ext4, it is using ext file system. Okay, this is ext, but later we'll create servers in our Amazon AWS, so that comes with XFS. ext4 is also a little old school kind of a thing. Okay, XFS is one of the fastest file system. But anyhow, Linux comes with either ext or XFS, okay, by default. So whatever it is, it's a different file system. Now this depends upon the file system, by the way. That file system Windows doesn't support creating a multiple file names with case things, but these file systems allows you to do that. That's just one difference that you'll find. Now how to create a file is touch command. There are many ways to create that, by the way, for the file. And the create directory also, there should be many ways, maybe. Okay, I don't know, but I'm okay with one. And mkdir demo, so we're doing it. The important takeaways is in Linux, there are no extensions. You're creating your extensions, but because to understand this is a text file, it's a Python script. Okay, easy to understand, right? So still we'll do that. And so the important another takeaway is case sensitive things. Make sense? Any questions? Okay, I don't see any hands. Moving on. Let's try to just keep a track of what we are doing, by the way. So that means like we learned ls command with -l option, -A option. Now just now we talked about -h option also. Now after that we talked about cd command. We talked about pwd command. In cd also we talked about cd dot dot, right? Something like that. Now the next thing is search command we talked about, and mkdir command we talked. Right. The next is how can we remove the files? For an example, I came to a requirement of remove a file. So it's a very simple thing. In Windows, you already learned all these things. In Linux, we're just putting some commands to that, right? So that's where rm command is coming into picture. So now rm and the file name. So now I'll go with sample. Okay, it is usually asking you yes or no. Okay, I'm pressing Y. It will move on and deliver it. Okay, so this is how it is going to be removing a file. But whereas if I use the same rm command, if I try to remove a directory, it will tell that, hey, I can't remove, it's a directory. Okay, so that's where, oh, for one more option is there. rm-f is there, which is a very dangerous option. So now let's say touch sample I'm creating once again. Now rm sample, if I give, it is asking you to, okay, remove the file yes or no. I'm giving no, but ls-l, the sample still exists, right? Now I want to forcefully, I don't want this prompt at all. So that's where I want to forcefully remove that. rm-f comes into picture. Okay, without prompt, it will remove. Like I already mentioned, so be cautious. Okay, while you're removing the content, it's non-recoverable. Okay, you may not recover the lost data. So that's where you have to be very careful. And also in Windows, in some cases, it will go to recycle bin. So here that concept is also not there. It will not go. So you have to be very cautious with this rm command. Now the same way, rm remove the directory. If I want to do that, then you have to use -r option. Now -r demo I had to give. So it is again asking yes or no. I'm giving no. If I wanted to remove forcefully, rm-f. So that's it. ls-l demo is gone. All the content inside that folder is also gone. And rm-r-f demo. Okay, that is also gone. So that's where this is how you remove a directory, and you can, I mean, you can clean up the content inside that. I mean, with the folder and its content. And these options also can be combined, by the way, rm-f individually, or you can combine this like this, rm-r. This also works. Like any ls command also, it will, combinations will work. But I will prefer you for as a beginner, you can go with the individual options for careful understanding that it is different. Okay, so that's how you will be doing that. And once the files are removed, there is no way of retrieving them. So just be cautious. Okay, so that is how it is going. All right. Any questions?
So in Windows, we have file extension which tells which application can open that file. So for example, .py means Python application will open that .py file. So how do we know in Linux which app is associated with the file without?
It is a reverse way. Okay, so their file will open an application. Here, application will open a file. Now, RM is an application. Okay, or touch is an application. You are giving the file name, right?
Mhm.
So it is a reverse way.
But RM is kind of utility. But for example, so lambda.py.
It's an application only, right? I mean, you are categorizing that as an utility, something like that. But it's end of the day, it's an application as well. It does some job, right? Or whoever is doing the job, if I call it as an application, is RM is also the same thing. And if the utility is the one, now why don't I call like let's say Microsoft Word? Why don't I call it as a utility? It is also a utility, which is a word edit. I mean, document editing utility, correct?
Okay, so kind of if there is a file.txt, I want to open.
Yeah.
How do we know which app will open that file?
That you have to know about it and do it only. You can't do it without it, right? And that's where Linux becomes the most secure operating system, by the way. You raised a very important point with your confusion, which brings a very high risk that, why Windows lose its, why Windows lose its, race in security, by the way, because application opening a file is a very risk, by the way, right? Now, what you're doing, okay, you have a file, by the way. Now, let's say it is showing as some sort of a TXT file. You're thinking that's a TXT file. Now, anyone can be a layman user. What do you do, by the way? You do a double click of that file, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, opening a double click, by the way, so what happens in the system? It executes that one. Now, what these spammers are, malware and all will do is they will help you in downloading the files. Always when you download the files, your browser always wants you, do you want to download this file? This looks suspicious. Have you entered into this scenario? Whenever, anytime you're downloading the file by your Chrome or something, does anytime warn you that, so this is a suspicious file. Do you want to download something like that?
Yeah.
Now, why they're telling is because your operating system is a graphical interface operating system, which is Windows. You try to download that file. Now you don't know anything in Windows. You're a layman user, and that's why they converted to the approach of file opening the application. Now you simply double click it. Double click will execute that particular file, and it will execute what it is supposed to execute. It will not execute what you want, by the way. Okay, that's where the malwares get into your systems. Spywares and malwares get into your system, which is a very much risk, by the way. Now, whereas rather than that, that's a text file. Okay, what do I usually do? Like, let's say I go to the notepad, open the notepad, and from there I'll open the file. Control O and open that file. That is the most safest method. So that means that file is supposed to be opened that file on, with that application only. Okay. So that's where if it is not able to open, that means it's a corrupted file or something else. But that's the safest method. So Linux, you have this method, by the way. So the application would be dealing with the files. Files will not deal with applications.
Okay.
Yeah. Moi, you need to unmute and talk.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my question I was gonna ask in relation to this what was I gonna ask? Sorry. Yeah, I've done these commands before. We're just I was just saying in the comments. I've done this before, actually. Linux commands. So should I just skip over this part?
Your wish. It's up to you, right?
Okay, all right then. That's all I want to know. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See, now you are using a touch command for the file creation and make directory mkdir used for the folder creation. Here my doubt is in folder need to create file. For that is there any different command?
Same touch command only.
In folder file also same command.
No. You create a folder, you go inside the folder, again give touch command to create the files inside that folder.
Okay.
Same like Windows, right? So can you create a file? If you want to create a file in Windows, what do? You go into the folder, right click, and create a file. You're going inside a folder, right? Here also it is same thing only. You go inside the folder, touch command, create the files.
That means first need to give the folder name and give the touch, and after that file name.
No. See, the commands which you learned is a touch command. To create a file, it is touch command.
Yes.
Now it is a directory, by the way. Now you go inside CD directory demo and you touch the file.
Okay.
Okay, those are two different operations. Or you wanted to do in one operation only, like the folder name. and you
Yes.
want to create the file inside that. So now you can give touch and give the, like let's say the folder is already there. So then touch inside the folder you want to create. So then new.txt you can give. So this way also you can do that. Either you go inside the folder and do that, or else you provide the full path and it can do that.
Okay, okay, done.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi Raghu. I mean, you said regarding this PWD command, I mean, to avoid PWD command, we can use cd space slash. I did not get that.
I did not told that, by the way. So to avoid the PWD command in this image, in this operating system, I had done some customization. The moment you go into the directory, any directory, it will show you the directory directly here.
Oh, okay.
To avoid PWD command. PWD also will show the same.
Oh, okay. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Not able to hear you, Venkat.
Yeah, hi Raghu.
Yeah.
So as you said, once we remove the file from the directory, directory, so we can't roll back it, right?
You can't retrieve it back. Yes.
Revert it back. So before removing the file or folder, is there any option like can we take it as a backup?
So end of the day, you're doing the same thing only, right? So if you are taking a backup and removing the original file, then don't remove the original file. No operation is fine, right?
Yeah, correct. Might be if we get any issues now, we can revert it back, right?
No, you're not understanding it. I got your point, by the way. I hear you. You want to take a backup and you want to remove the file. Now,
Correct.
taking the backup itself, the same file exists there, right? Then better not to remove that file, logically speaking, or technically speaking.
Yeah, correct. No, can we save it in different in different path or folder like
You can do that.
directory, and we can create a new, or else we can remove that existing
Yes.
file.
If you need that way, yes. Answer is yes. It can be done.
Okay. Thanks for that.
Hi Raghu, a little off-topic question. Why isn't the command clear working in Killer Coda?
Clear is a software. That software is not installed there.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Hi Raghu.
Yeah.
I think coming back to extension topic, I saw I think previous screen I saw some .cfg .py kind of thing. Is there any default like that anaconda.cfg file? I don't know what is that extension. Is there any software on top of our Linux system to open those files, or we need to learn which software will open which file? I think PY I know, Python I don't. Other things I don't know.
Yesterday also I was telling the same thing. You can't go with 100% of OS knowing, by the way. Okay. Windows, the moment you go to C drive Windows, you will see 1,000 files, 1,000 directories you will see. C drive Windows you have folder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The moment you go there, you'll see many files. Now you don't want to know everything, by the way. To do your day-to-day job, do you need to know everything?
No need. Yeah.
So let it be, by the way. But one day you may need to know about some Windows file. You will know about that particular one and you will deal with that. So the same thing here. So whatever we need on an operating system, we'll do with that. So everything out there, you don't need to digest it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't need it in the very first place. Don't look Windows and Linux as two different things. That is an operating system. This is an operating system. So there you're doing that job. And here also you're doing your job. So our job out there is to create some files. In Windows, what do you do, by the way? No internet, no media player. By the way, what do you deal with that? You deal with the documents, correct?
Yeah.
So we are also doing the same thing. How to create a file, how to create a folder. You're just learning that. Whatever you do there, you are learning here. That's so the OS, all the internals you start doing, next 20 years, you end up not completing Linux. Okay, so let's not go there. So I'm consciously calling it out. Okay, don't waste, don't look in the wrong dimension, especially the OS perspective. A lot of people I know stress everything on the Linux. Okay, Linux, what is an operating system? You need to know what you need to know for doing your job.
Correct, Raghu. But some people, out of ego in interviews, they will ask some files. Oh, you don't know you are working like 2 years or 3 years. Like interviews
course.
are trying to show off something like what is CFG file. You don't know you are working almost 5 years. Like they will try to poke you kind of thing. So
Of course, if
you
CFG is
know
part
what I
of
mean.
your job,
Yeah, right.
see, he also right. He may be right also.
Right.
Whatever his roles and responsibilities, he is expecting that maybe. Okay, so I think it's a which you mentioned is a very generalized statement, by the way, right? Whatever is needed to know, must and should you should know.
Right.
Okay, now the same question you can ask him, by the way. So can you tell me how many number of folders are there in the Windows by default when you install? Okay, see, that comes with, I mean, your both conversation, like how do you, it is happening, by the way. So now let's say if the CFG file is must and should be known. Now, if I'm talking to a Linux admin, by the way, now the role of the guy is Linux admin. He will know what is this KS, by the way. It's a kickstart file. How many of you are Linux admins here? Anyone can raise the hand. Any Linux admins here? 9R. What is this KS file? You're on mute.
Which one you are asking?
This Anaconda KS.cfg file. What is this file?
This is for when we are installing the OS, at the time it's creating the file.
No, it's creating the file. That's okay. What is the prominence of that file?
I am not familiar with that one.
I'm not a Linux system administrator, but I'm a middleware administrator. From the file, I can tell it's a configuration file actually.
CFG, everyone knows configuration file only. That's pretty understandable, self-explainable. Then, okay, if you are not Linux admin, that's okay. I'm guessing. But whoever says that's a Linux admin, if they don't know what is that file means, you're not Linux admin. Now, funny, that point is what I'm trying to bring. So now if I'm recruiting a Linux admin, if he says that he doesn't know the KS file, .cfg file, basically, so then, yeah, whatever, he's not with ego, he mentioned, by the way. He actually calling it out of your problems that you don't know the things. Okay. You're on mute. Not able to hear you.
Raghu, we are not Linux admin, but DevOps engineer.
No, I called it out. Now you're not a Linux admin guy. You are a DevOps engineer.
Yes.
Okay. He is a Linux admin or whoever it is, right? They should know about this. You may not be aware of also is fine, but having it is very good, by the way. But you don't know also, you don't deal with that file as a DevOps engineer. So it's still fine. Okay. That's where your role, whatever is needed for your role, you should know about it. Don't take excuses on that. Okay.
Sure.
You can't call it out the interviews ego, by the way. Right. So that means it's now my ego, right? So I called it out to some Linux admin. So he didn't know that particular file. Now I had to blame that guy. You don't know this also. That is very fundamental, by the way. Whoever calls the Linux admin, if they doesn't know the Anaconda KS.cfg, they're not Linux admins at all. Okay. Or they are just doing the support work of the things. They doesn't know the core of the system. So this Anaconda KS.cfg file will have some information that if I want to do a automated installation of Linux rather than the interactive way of going and do let's say in Windows, how do you install, do next, maybe OS installation, put pen drive, you do next, you get it. In Linux, everything you can automate. So this is a ks.cfg file. What we are telling here is, okay, so these are the steps you run it, by the way. So these are the steps which is given. So these are all the options: text, reboot. This is the repo use. Now post installation, we're setting up running some commands. These are all the commands which is running post steps, okay, and end of post steps. And one more post is also they have written. So they have just grouped it, kind of a thing. And after that, so the network configuration, so the keyboard, keyboard layout, language information, network information, okay, some network installation, what all the packages to be installed by default, all the packages has been provided. Now this is a basically like so the system configuration to installation part. So they should know about it. So yeah, I think every one of you got the context, by the way. Whatever is needed to know, you should know about it. Okay.
Raghu, do we install Linux? I mean, a part of our DevOps job? Any possibility?
In cloud
No.
world, answer is no.
Okay. One important question, Raghu, I got doubt yesterday. DevOps, I mean, we are like a automation kind of thing mostly, right? In cloud, we have a lot of possibilities to do automations, right? I mean, within minutes, I can create server operating system. Do we practice DevOps on on-premises system? Is it possible? Or if the company doesn't use cloud and
It is
they
100% possible.
But we cannot create a servers on the spot like a cloud, right? I mean, like EC2. We don't. How is it?
No, it is possible.
Possible. Okay. I mean, is the creation of servers, everything, network configuration, is it possible to automate within?
100% possible. It's happening. I am doing it, by the way.
Oh, okay. I
Already.
thought only on cloud we practice DevOps. Sorry, maybe
Already
I may be
there.
wrong.
The cloud is also end of the day some machine only, right? Some hardware.
Machine only, but we have the flexible to create multiple servers in multiple ways. But
You should enable the same flexibility here. Why are you not enabling it here? It's a
in
people problem.
on-premises servers,
No.
to
It's a
implement
people
server,
problem.
it will take days or hours.
No.
Kind
It's a
of.
people problem.
Okay.
It's a people
Okay.
problem. It's not the technology problem. The same question actually. One of the project I worked in a year back. So the company, whichever been working for a bank in India. So a CTO called for a meeting, and so he called it out all the persons, whoever is responsible for so server creations and all the heads of something, everything, by the way. So he called it out: head of network, head of firewalls, head of security, firewall security, head of servers, every head of data center. He pulled everyone to the call. So I asked, so in cloud, I'm able to create a machine in 5 minutes. In the on-prem, why I'm not able to, why are you taking days of time? Okay. So it's ended up with the people problem, by the way. So it's a process problem. Okay. So they put a lot of barricades everywhere that, person has to approve, a lot of things. So after that, over a period of time, so we removed everything. Like if I'm able to create a VM on the, we were able to create the VM on the cloud. Now the same way we are creating the VM on the on-prem as well. It is quite possible. It's not a tech problem. It's only the people and process. Yeah.
So Raghu, I mean, people problem in the sense like sometimes we need to procure also, right? So procuring servers and also that will take time.
That you have to do the forecasting. Like Amazon also is doing the same thing, right?
No, on-prem, if you need to procure and everything, so it's going to take time.
Amazon
Correct?
also
So,
procuring. You're not understanding. Amazon is also a data center. Here
yeah,
also it is a data center. You need to procure. How Amazon is, how Amazon is actually, forecasting the load. They have some analytics of data, by the way. So here also you forecast the things, okay, that what is the capacity needed. You define the budget for that year, and you procure the, upfront the hardware.
ahead of time. Yeah. So you're
So
saying
usually,
ahead of time for forecast and do it.
for me, that problem did not came because whatever is the, what are the project submits the cost every year in the financial year, only that cost will be approved in that year only. Okay, additional cost will not be approved. So whoever needs to launch some product, needs some capacity and all, so they go with the, they go with procuring that particular hardware. Okay. And also we have done something else also, which is not a very, we address this particular problem, but not in a way of solution completely, but what it was is the minimum hardware, that minimum required capacity hardware always runs in my data center, whereas my additional hardware always runs on, I mean, I need to scale, by the way, due to some reason, I will scale it on the cloud. Ours is hybrid, on-prem and cloud together. So we had this approach, by the way, but we had some data related problems and all. That's okay. That did not actually worked as a complete solution to the product, by the way. Technically, I mean, we had done that. So cloud, you can scale it up immediately. And the budget is anyhow, I mean, cloud, everyone has an agreement with the financial team as well. It can go up and down. So there's an agreement with that, not a problem. But for the on-premise upfront, if there is anyone is looking for that capacity, you have to bring all those forecasts, you procure it. And also you don't need to procure, by the way. Basically, like usually like most of the companies, they don't maintain their own data centers. It will be given to some third party to maintain. They will take care of it. So I mean, within days, they will be, within a week, they will be arranged whatever you ask for it, other than you're asking some sort of this NVIDIA chipset with, I mean, this today's problem with the chipset problem with the AI processor, right? Some name is there. Apart from that, regular hardware, you always get it. I think we are deviating too much to the topic. Sorry.
Yeah.
So moving on. Yeah, sorry for that.
Yeah, hello. Good morning.
Yeah. Any questions related to touch MKDR, please? Otherwise, we'll take it to the last.
No.
Okay. Then I'll just wait for a few more minutes. I'll take you at the end.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So then here the commands which is coming is touch is to this one, and RM is coming. RM to remove the things, and RM-R to remove the directory, and -F also to forcefully do this. My environment is expired. Let me refresh. I'll get. In files, trimming the files. So now the next one, so which we are going to talk about is copying files and directories. In Linux, we can copy, again, there are many utilities to do that job. So the CP is one of the command that will help us. Okay, so the CP command, you're going to give your source file and destination file. In Linux, what do? Right click copy and you go to the destination wherever you want to. Then you're going to right click paste, right? So the same way, now here you're going to go for CP and the source file name and the target file name. So for an example, I have something anaconda.ks.cfg. Now CP anaconda.ks.cfg. So copy to, okay, so some test.cfg for an example. Now what has been done? So the file has been, okay, so CP command. So the same way, now let's say if I have a directory, and you can always copy the things into directory also. So mkdir demo, and you can copy the things inside the directory. So cp anaconda.ks.cfg. So copy inside demo/test.cfg. Okay, so then it copies into the demo directory. But however, if I don't give any file name while I'm copying your directory, then what will happen here is automatically it will copy with the same file name. Automatically it does copy with the same file name. So this is how it is going to do. So CP, we are going to do copy, and your okay, so CP source file and the destination file. The destination can be a directory as well, so that it will copy inside the directory. And while copying inside the directory, you can always give the file name of your own, or you leave it so that it will copy in the same file name. You can copy to any other directories in the system. So this is how your copy is going to work. All right. So just before taking questions, I'll just take one more topic also. just the rename, okay? Renaming and moving, by the way. Now, also, if I want to rename a file, okay, then probably mv, let's say test.cfg, I want to rename it as test.cfg. This is what I wanted to do. Now, what happened is it just renamed inside or rename this particular file. Okay, you go inside this. At the same time, we can also move these files also. For an example, if I'm using mv test.cfg, if I'm giving a directory, by the way, on the right side, okay, and enter. So now what happened is this capital test is no more here. Now, where is this capital test? Demo. Okay. So ls-l of this one. So you will see that it is moved inside a directory. Now, move command will help you in two ways. If the destination doesn't exist, like whatever you have given, so then it will rename the file. If the destination exists and it is a directory, then it will move that file inside that particular directory. So moving operation is nothing but cut paste operation in Windows. Okay. So this is how you can copy a file or you move the file from one location to another location. Yeah. Any questions?
Hello, Raghu.
Yeah.
Just a couple questions. So first thing was my I don't know if there was some thing with it. My Catacoda sort of got kicked out of my website. The account, I got logged out for some reason. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, just something being timed or.
Your session will be active only for 60 minutes. On the right side top, you can see this timing.
Okay, that's why. Yeah, I got kicked out. Then the next thing I want to ask is actually, what does CFG stand for?
Configuration.
Configuration. Okay. Yeah, and I'm gonna watch the video that we're doing the screen recording here. I'm gonna do that. Should I do it in Catacoda, the whole thing? Redo some of these files?
Yes.
Okay, then all right. Thank you.
Not able to hear you. Moving on.
Yeah, hello Raghu. Good morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm able to hear you.
Okay, sure. So yesterday I was not able to join, but I was watching the demo and you were talking about adding the security aspects to it. So I wanted to know, is it going to be just the basis or we are going to have a deeper understanding of the security aspects of DevOps?
Let me take the questions related to the CP command or
Okay, sure.
Questions I'll take later. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Not able to hear you, Sarthak.
Hi, Raghu.
Yeah, Hitesh.
I have a question about you mentioned that anytime we delete a file, that is deleted permanently.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just comparing with Windows. In Windows, we have recycle bin. So we do not have the recycle bin concept in Linux.
Yeah.
Oh,
Windows removing, going to a recycle bin is not removing, right?
right. Deleting.
That statement is wrong, actually. You just move the file to another place. That's it. It is still accessible there. So that's not a remove operation.
Right. But okay, in Windows, we are deleting, but in Linux, we are removing.
Both are same only, delete and remove. I mean, just a wording difference, that's okay. But technically in Windows, you delete the file and it is moving to a recycle bin means, I mean, it is going to a recycle bin, right?
Right.
Now, what do you call? You are moving the file to recycle bin, correct?
Correct, yeah.
So that means it's not a delete operation, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So technically, deletion in Windows may not be a real deletion. Okay, maybe you delete from recycle bin is actual delete. Just a placeholder for some time for you. That's it.
Right, right.
A placeholder is not there here. But even you lost in from recycle bin or actual delete, by the way, you lost the file even in Windows.
Correct. But so in Linux, we do not have a way to recover a deleted or removed file.
Again, you are there only. In Windows also, you don't have that, right?
I mean, in Windows, we can recover from the recycle bin.
Let's say recycle bin is the actual place where you're deleting the file, right? But until then, you're moving the file. Now here also, like let's say, I mean, I'm just calling like let's say mkdir/recycle bin. Okay, I'm creating one folder. Okay, let's say. Now what I did, by the way, I wanted to move this file to original case.cfg to recycle bin. Now the file in this original location is gone. But the file is actually gone. No. Where is that file? You go to the /recycle bin. Do ls. Now I'll remove the file. Now this is the actual operation. So their deletion is not doing the deletion. That's a confusion you have. It's making.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Still not able to hear you, Sardar. Okay. So let's add the commands what we learned again. So cp command and mv command. And also CP, by the way, you might need to get a requirement of copying the directories. I just forget to mention about this. Now let's say I want to copy the whole directory. Now let's say cp demo2/tmp if I give. So then it is not able to copy. It's a directory. That's where I'll be using -r option. So cp -r option you'll be using while you copy the directory. Same like rm-r to while it is dealing with the directory. So cp also -r when it is actually dealing with the directory. Okay, cool. So until here you have it.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
The move command in Unix, it's a someone is using that folder or directory, you can move. But in Linux, it's possible to move.
Yeah.
It's fully moving.
Yeah. Oh, if someone is using that.
Yeah, if it is there in that folder or directory, someone is some process is running.
Yeah. Maybe you may get some error.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
It's not possibly we can't do it, right?
I mean, that's what all the files which is not been associated with the process may be moved. And you may get error for only the process which is open, right? So the same thing applies here as well.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right. The next very important one is how do you deal with editing the file? So just for today, I think this is too much, maybe. Okay, we'll do this in tomorrow. If I do this tomorrow, yeah, that should be fine, I think. That's good. So we can take a pause. So tomorrow we wanted to talk about how do you edit the files with the editor, okay, in Linux, by the way. And we'll move on. Mostly we'll complete with the Linux basics and we'll go with creation of an AWS account. Okay, I already mentioned all the videos how to create a sign up for AWS. So if anyone is not aware of this thing, so please go ahead and create your AWS account. You have videos here for reference. Just create your AWS account and get it ready. If you are already having an AWS account, just stick with that. Okay, no need of separate account. So I just pinged the URL on the chart. So this has all the links, including Killer Coda. Yeah. Cool. And yeah, now someone saying like some additional questions, please go ahead, whatever you have.
Is this the end? I was asking, is this the end of class? Or are we're still doing a little bit more?
I'm done with the technical topics. I'll be taking the questions, by the way.
Okay, perfect. But yeah, I'll be working on everything. I just created an AWS account. Just want to let you know that. And I'm going to look through my old videos to do some practice, actually. That's it. Yeah, thank you. Bye.
So someone was also mentioning earlier, so that they have an issues with the killer coda, like whatever is that particular issue, please drop me an email right away. I'll take a look right away. Whatever the issue you're facing or you're telling, by the way, please drop an email right away. I'll take a look.
Sir, now I see it's working fine. Means I have refreshed it and now it's looking fine. I will see whether again if it faces that kind of issue, then I will bring it.
100% there won't be issues from the other sides, by the way. It only the issues from our side only. This mindset is very important. So something is not working for others, then that means it is our side mistake only. There is 1 or 2% chances that, so something could be wrong also, but that's fine. But killer code, at least this thing is a pretty straightforward website only. That should be fine. Yeah, that's okay.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, Raghu.
Yeah.
Actually, my question is very different, to be honest. Like, I was the old student of you. I just want to know, like, is there any possibility to provide to prepare for interview? Like,
So drop me an email. So that time itself would have shared you. But anyhow, drop me an email with your requirement. So we'll try to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know, like, last 1 year, like, I mean, the market is tough, so I didn't get a job, unfortunately. So then I got a job in some other thing, like, SQL with mainframe. So at present, I was working as SQL.
Mhm.
So now, but I did my master's in data science. So I want to learn, I don't know, like, in which way I want to go, like, should I change technology or like, I mean, like, I know, like, I learned DevOps already. So how can what can I do, like, the best?
So you learned DevOps and you appeared for any interviews of DevOps?
Yeah, I did like 3 interviews, but it's like for more than 10 plus years of experience.
So that
So
means you
there
have
are
up to mark for that number of years of experience, right? In terms of knowledge.
that's the reason, like, but US market is very different, right? So usually they ask like 8 plus or 10 plus years
No,
of
forget
experience.
about the market. So you appear for an interview, you are not up to mark. Is that very straightforward understanding?
Yeah. So how can I prepare for in that way?
You have to practice and prepare, no other option. Now you're also going on the wrong direction. Help me with the interview, but you're not asking me help me with the knowledge, because the knowledge is the one which will clear you the interview, but not the interview knowledge to clear the interview.
But I'm asking, like, I want the knowledge to crack the interview. So
Learn it. Knowledge, I can't open your brain and dump it and close it in 1 hour, right? I can't do that. You have to do it on your own only. So that's what I call it out, maybe like a couple of sessions back also, like maybe yesterday or day before yesterday. Everything, whatever I teach, and in whatever the batch you attended, were you able to talk about each and every word I teach that time? You practice each and every.
I can speak few things, but I can't, like, 100%. That's, yeah.
And that means you have not done the things right. That is a gap, by the way. So just, I mean, you attended maybe interview and go to the things will not help you. So completely end to end, whatever I do, You already attended my training, you know my style. I always go with from the scratch. I build everything, by the way. So were you able to build on your own the whole project?
It till Kubernetes, but
The whole thing, whatever I from scratch to the ending, however I have done, have you done that on your own without referring my video, my documentation, just referring the official documentations? Have you done that?
No.
Then you have not done that, right? So then how can you ready for an interview? Unless until you practice, how do you expect that you get a job in interviews? Say something.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I'll fix that. So I'll practice a lot now.
We should do that. No other option.
Yeah. Sure. So I just had another doubt, Raghu. Like, is batch 80 and batch 81 is same? Like,
see, whatever I am yesterday, today it will not be. Okay, some improvement will be there, and that maturity will be there in the next batches. Definitely, it will be there. So content always it was there. Same RoboShop project was there for 5 years almost, but there's a lot of maturity in that. So it always matures. I wouldn't say that if you just to comparing like equal to, then definitely it is not equal to only. Always from my batch to batch.
yeah, I've seen a lot of enhancements in 81. So, but I didn't see 80 batch, so that's why I'm asking. Yeah.
Always will be there. So it is never going to be equal to. I never have any PPTs or something like that. Come and just read it out and go. I never done that job. So I won't do that job as well. So it's always comes with maturity. Yeah. So will be something. So anyhow, you're already here. So that should be fine. Go with this one.
Raghu, I have a generic question. So in an enterprise, we have multiple teams, right? Like as you mentioned. So for example, a cloud team is there, a separate DevOps team is there. So for example, if a cloud team is there, and so they will provision the, let's say, the EC2 servers, or they will give us the list of IP addresses that needs to be utilized. So there are some sort of restrictions across, right? In an enterprise, we cannot just use things whatever we learn. So how do, I mean, so by end of this course, will we get that kind of a view, like what kind of restrictions we might have in an enterprise? How do we approach things in a real time? Are you clear on my question, or?
No, I'm clear. So the answer will be yes or no. So, I mean, that is an unknown thing, right? So have you seen, I mean, with your own eyes that, in your company that, so you're asking for a server in cloud and then you're getting it. Is that something happened?
So I was working on a project. So in that particular project, so it's basically a SaaS implementation. So we were requesting for some sort of compute services to a different team. So they will go ahead with like the IP addresses, which is actually required. So I think they will raise the IP addresses. I don't have that clarity how they get those IP addresses. So limited set of IP addresses would be given. Similarly, let's say if there is an SSO team, so that particular SSO team configurations and all will be little different. So we need to reach out to them. So there are a lot of different teams involved, and it was tough to navigate in order to figure out things and move forward. I was thinking, is there a generic kind of a framework to understand specific to any application? So, for example, login would be common to any application, right? So SSO will be common. Getting IP addresses would be common. So something like that, a kind of a framework, at least to get a high level understanding point of view.
I feel you're looking at a wrong dimension on that way. One thing, let me set, okay, you're going and asking some team, by the way, so to create some servers, there is a process setup, only this team will have access.
Yeah.
Right. So the other team will
Yeah.
not. Basically, that means, okay, why they would have went in that approach. Any company member will try to define a process to benefit the company only, right? At least some percentage of benefit to the company will be there. Some percentage maybe to have bread and butter to hold some things is a different story. But some percentage always it is going to be some version of benefit. They'll always tell why you call it out a particular process. Now I feel that, so basically, this question will be answered with something called as AWS landing zone, okay, approach. Later we'll talk about it.
Okay.
So basically, if one team is actually going to another team and seeking for the information is a capability problem. So that means my job is something else, okay, to take care. So which I don't have these, time to take care of this particular one, or the capability is not available to do this. So that's where they form the centralized capability who will do that. Okay. So that's an organization culture, how they want to go with centralized versus, so like distributed capability, by the way. So it has its own pros and cons, by the way. I think it goes completely in a context of business plus, companies, company business, company's application nature. Many variables could come into picture to determine that. But end of the day, you will come to know that, in this particular training, like 100%, how do you do that? The things on your own. If some parts are being done by some other team, so you just cut down that particular percentage only, right? So it would not be a problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And also such requirements, like you always see that some improvements, that's a scope for improvement also, right? So you challenge that particular team saying that, okay, hey, whatever you're doing can be done better. You can always go and give an open feedback. I don't think so anyone would take it as a wrong way. Okay, at least someone will say acknowledge as yes, but they will have their own reasons why they couldn't do that. That's a different story. At least it's an opportunity for you also to change something. So that's how generally, at least I do, especially when there is anything, because I work especially in a consulting firm. So when I look something can be improved, whether it can be done or not, or whether they will do it or not, I'll call it out, saying that, hey, this is something that can be improved, by the way, because of my understanding. So some people will, try to implement it. Some people will ignore it. Some people will come back and say that, hey, we can't do this because of this so and so reasons, right? So many things will be there. Like, that's okay. You will learn the things, assuming you have everything with you and you do the things. And if you're not, something is not there, you just ignore that. Let them take care. No issue.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Right.
Good morning, sir. This is Manoj.
Yeah.
I have one generic question, sir. So, for example, if we are creating a Terraform module, for example, if we are writing some code, so we are allowed to take reference of documentation in real time, or they want us to build it from scratch without any references or something?
You should refer.
Okay, no need to remember everything, right, sir?
And of course, it is not possible, is what I feel, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. Sir, and one more doubt. So generally there will be different teams, right, sir, in the organization. So for example, the storage has some different team and network has some different team. So when we are automating the infrastructure, we create the storages and network, right? So generally DevOps engineer will do that, or storage team will come into picture and they will create and we use them in our template, or how it will use?
I'll not comment it because that's a general statement, right? So it's not a specific scenario. Okay. Companies will have both the sides. So it depends upon the company you're working for, you have to take up the side.
It might happen, sir.
I'll tell you an example which is like, let's say you go to a bank, by the way, right? So there is a counter for personal loans. There's a counter for home loans. There's a counter for banking, by the way. Okay. But you go back, 150 years back, the bank was not like that. Bank was having a central group of people. Okay. Any customer comes in, so they were able to serve all the requests, whatever he had, by the way, that time. Okay. So now slowly, while they are moving on, okay, over years, by the way, they can't scale, by the way. Now the queue is more, whereas the team which is actually sitting in the bank is very less, by the way. So the wait time of the users has growing more and more and more and more. Okay, then what they thought, okay, so fine, let's distribute this. Okay, so we'll start a section called as like something like a banking, by the way. So anyone want the banking service, they'll go there. Okay, so there anyone want a personal loan, they'll go and sit there. Okay, so or they'll go to that particular appropriate queue. So then they started scaling like that. So that means to that, by the way, so they started so scaling the number of users who comes to the bank, by the way, they were able to solve the things much better. Now that scale went even a larger extent, like in in country like India. So the scale become in a massive extent in such a way that so they couldn't actually solve that particular problem. So they went on digitalization. Okay, so then they started making applications. Now whoever is actually going to the bank is basically is even reduced. Physical going bank, maybe use the application and all, right? So they were able to solve that. Now again, that moved again 2 decades of time, and now there is a new challenges coming into picture. So which is a centralized data. Now let's say I'm having a home loan on the bank, but I also have a banking account on that particular bank, for an example. Now I go to the bank and I'll say that, hey, I wanted to close the personal account. So since your home loan is tagged to this one, they'll say that no, we can't actually close your account. As simple as that, right? But then first you have to go back to that particular bank. First you have to create another. First you have to map your home loan deduction to another bank. Then one day you come back and solve this. This is the biggest challenge right now, because the systems has been scaled like this in a vertical, by the way. So personal loan vertical, they developed their own software. They went on their own way. Okay, there was no integrations. Now the big business right now happening in the market is consolidation of the services, by the way. Okay, so especially in India. So like that, so you see how landscape has been changed. So now 150 years back, whatever it started, now we are coming back to the same scenario. Okay, so the landscape always will be different. You can't actually say that, let's not go generalize, let's do this, right? So at least I will not generalize the things. Okay, because unless until, see, like I was telling some funny example also all the time. So Dolo 650 is not a solution for every disease that you get it. For some diseases, yes, you put it in unknowing the disease, maybe it can cure you. Okay, right? But as long as you know the disease, then you solutionize it. So first understand your company, how they're operating. Then you go with the applying process, by the way. Let's not say that you go to a new company and you can't say that no, I don't do this work because in my other company I was doing somewhere. That will not work, right?
Yes.
So yeah, let's deal with the reality. Whatever is there, let's deal with.
So generally there are companies who accept both, sir. So there may be scenarios. That's what you're based on the company.
Maybe.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Industry has enough idiots, no problem with that. Sorry, wrong word. But there are people, seriously. So I deal with them. A lot of them I'll deal with. No other option. Okay. So because they have been like that. So their visibility is very much closed, by the way. Okay. That's how they feel that, whatever they're doing is right. Right. But once you open up and you start seeing the outside world, you can always do the things better. Now, for an example, my training, by the way, I am also have a closed circle, right? Definitely, if I look at the outside, ways, by the way, how people are doing. Okay, so there is definitely people are doing outstanding way, by the way. Okay, no doubt in that.
Yes.
So there's an improvement for me as well on that aspect. So, but there are other reasons that why can't I improve and all. I have my own reasons, by the way. But at least if I close that and say that no, I'll do like this only, then yeah. So over the period of time, so idiots like me will be there. No other. You can't actually predict that. So that will be there. So don't worry on that particular part. So what is there in the ground? If you are in a position of influencing certain things, you start influencing. If you're not in a position of influencing the things, you just follow the things. As simple as.
Yes. Thanks, sir.
Hello, Raghu. Can you hear me now?
Yes. When you
So,
raise
Raghu,
the hand, sorry for that. When you raise the hand, just wait for your turn. I have seen you have just rising up, downing, and all. It's not needed.
okay. Okay, so my question was there, how we can manage 3 months notice period, because now the scenario is totally changed, and if you do have the knowledge as well, they ask you have to join as soon as possible within 15 months or 10 months. Sorry, 15 days or 10 days. So, like, how we can manage 3 months notice period is huge.
Yeah. like people only has made it as a culprit, right? So, I mean, if I give an offer for 3 months, there's no guarantee that you will join, by the way. So, which we also don't want to spend effort on you and take the risk. So that's where we're just looking for a short notice.
Yeah, that's thing, but like that is again questions like then how I can change, right?
Send them a bond paper, by the way. So saying that, I'll write a bond, I'll give you a bond. Okay. So writing in a registered stamp paper. So saying that I'll join. See, there are ways always, by the way. Okay. See, you can always go and convince okay. So as long as you're able to convince, the things will happen. You should find your own way.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
This is Sairam.
Yeah.
I'm interested to learn the Javas. In future days, any openings or is there or not? Alert. I have a doubt in market.
I am not astrologist to
Silly question.
Sorry,
but
I'm not
ask me.
astronomist to astrology to predict tomorrow's thing. If I have this, I'm in the wrong business.
Okay.
Will you live tomorrow or will you die?
I will come daily, sir. I am fresher till special.
No, boss. Listen.
I am 2023 passed out. I already learned jobs. I already learned Java. Afterwards, I interested to learn DevOps. That's why I'm joined to this section.
Okay, if you join for learning something, you will learn. That's okay. But if for the first question which you asked, by the way, okay, will the job will be there for tomorrow? I'm asking you another question. Will you live by tomorrow, or tomorrow will I come to this session? Can you predict it? Tomorrow, let's say today evening I have a travel, by the way. Let's say I got into a flight. Okay. Who knows the flight will not crash? Will you anticipate?
Okay.
So tomorrow what will happen? How I will come to it's only just wish list. Yeah. So wish technology, it's always moving on. So hoping only will be there. No guarantee will be there. Based on the hope only you will move on. Right?
Okay.
So your parents has sent you college that you will become good student.
Okay.
Okay. That is a hope from them, right? Whether you have become or not, it's up to it's on you.
Okay.
Your parents can't predict that, so 4 years later after the college, this fellow will not get the job. I'll not send him to college today. They didn't predict it that way, right?
Okay, sir. Okay.
So it will happen that way only, right?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Whatever you believe, you do, and ultimately you fight for it. You should be getting it. Or may not getting it. That's okay. That's a different story. But at least you have a satisfaction that I wanted this. I tried for this. Okay, I fought for this, and at least you have a satisfaction.
Okay. Thank you.
Raghu, more of a personal question. How DevOps job is hectic or pressure? Do we need to available round the clock or any rotational shift kind of thing? Your personal experience when we are collaborating with other teams, right? Is it really challenging? Some teams may not be cooperative. DevOps is we need fast and reliable system kind of thing as per definition and entire process. But some teams may not be so cooperative and we are stressed out, right? Based on your personal experience, how to deal all these things?
Hey, personally, I like pressure, by the way, because the more pressure I take it, I'll go and show to my manager this much pressure I'm taking. You give me more salary. Okay. So you have to use it as an opportunity, not as not as something that which is making loss to you, right? So it's it's an asset, by the way. It's not a liability. And also, like, you work at the core, by the way, why this much pressure is coming. So if I were to kind of, completely relook about it, what makes something that can change this whole pressure, you should be working on that, right? So, and also on the, so depends, by the way. So again, it's a very general thing. So we can't comment on that. So every project may not be pressured. Every role also may not be under pressure all the time. But ideally talking, DevOps engineer should not have any shifts, by the way, because he mostly works with the development team. And again, developers itself, it's not like they will not extend, right? So everyone, business first kind of a thing. So you work in the enterprise organizations where the business is so critical, by the way, so your days always extend all the time. And ultimately, you should be in a position to sell that to someone, saying that I've been consistently doing this, doing that, and all. So probably extended times and all. So some way you have to encash it. You should do that. So just simply sitting with you and keeping all pressure with you, no one telling anything, it will not help. At least I feel like, I see that as an opportunity to grow, by the way, to better, to improve the process and improve myself. And ultimately, like, end of the day, I can get paid for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll give you one of the example, by the way. My Oracle, at least, any one of you have been through Oracle company, by the way. Oracle is well known for that known hikes generally. Okay. But I worked for 3.5 years. So 3 years consistently, I have taken 30% of hike with all my team members with 0% of hike. End of the day, what value you're adding, you have to look in. Okay. So just going to office and coming back is what you're doing, or you're going to the company and you're adding some value to the company. So that itself change a lot. Yeah. Be a high performer. Don't take discounts, as simple as much as possible. I think it's time up as well. Any other questions? Otherwise, we're good. I think it's extended. Okay, all right. And also one more thing I usually call it out is basically and I think everyone of you is in a too much hurry to, like, looking this competition as a 100-meter race. 100-meter race strategy is completely different versus a marathon strategy. Okay. Now you join this particular course to be a marathon. Okay. Not a 100-meter race. Will not be completing the training in a week or in a month. We are going to take 3.5 months. Okay. First of all, you should hold yourself to be there till 3.5 months of ending. Okay. So that's where don't get too much energy burnt in the very starting. You'll have a lot of energy, and Linux is very simple, and you will see all the stars, by the way, everything is very good going on. Slowly the pace of complexity increases. Okay. So just keep in your mind that, the complexities would always come. Okay. In the training as well, it will come, like, more topics, more and more. You're also a human being. You can't digest many things at the same time, right? So it takes time. You have to spend the time to digest it, by the way, read it, understand it, practice it, all those particular things. And what is a general observation that we usually have is people spend a lot of time in the starting and slowly, so getting slow. One day they'll put the full stop. Okay. So don't do that. Please embrace yourself till end of the training. So consistently keep that particular effort. Okay. So consistency is the very important. So though you are a mastermind, you may not be successful. It's only the consistency matters, by the way. So let's say, I always tell this way: you hit the gym and one day you spend 2 hours, or 1 week you spend 70 hours, you will not get six pack. But you convert that into 70 days, 1 hour, by the way, you will get some outcome. It's as simple as that. Okay. So you'll see the outcome only on the long runs, not on the short runs. So please consistently plan your roadmap, plan your timing, and ensure you're always there on the session, and ensure you keep all your personal things for certain days, maybe a couple of months, until you benefited what you're actually learning from. Okay. So please come out of that particular comfort zones and start working towards your improvements. See one last hand. Yes.
Sir, hi sir. Sir, any online section is there, sir, in Hyderabad? Your branch only?
No, we don't have anything.
Offline.
We don't have anything.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Good day. Not able to hear you, Cedric.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm sorry to raise the hand when you're saying goodbye. I'm really sorry. I wanted to ask, the training is 6 days, right? I'm in the US, so which day is the 6th day? I know it's Monday to Friday. Is it on Saturday or Sunday? You might have talked about it, but I'm sorry I joined late.
No
And it's
problem.
not on the website.
Yeah, it is 5 days a week, actually. It is Sunday to Friday for you. Sunday to Thursday for you.
Oh, okay. Sunday to Thursday. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. What about the lab session?
So lab sessions will come
Yes, I was wondering.
early mornings to you. So which is, I mean, assume like, until 10:30 a.m. EST, you will be getting.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Is there like a WhatsApp channel where you send the announcements or no? Just look at, check the email. That's all, right?
Yeah. For now, just check the email. So, I mean, once in a couple of days, you'll all get onboarded completely. So then the things will be very straightforward. So it won't be any confusion. So it's a one single place, you'll get everything.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good day. Take care.
No problem, Cedric. I have a question. So I know that we have a night class. Is there a morning session that you guys do, like for me?
No.
Okay, so that's just because someone told me that it could be like there's a morning session as well.
No. They did not mention about morning session. So after this particular session, every day you'll be having another window for if you have any questions while you do practice, or while you're doing the practice, you stuck somewhere. So we will help you. And there is a separate window for that. That will come in the morning time of USA.
Oh, okay. What's the window time?
Yeah, we'll let you know. From tomorrow we'll onboard you anyhow. So we'll send you.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Yeah. And then I'll be able to just message you and if I have any questions.
Right.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. See you tomorrow. Bye. Good day.